Welcome back to Terror by the Bay. I'm David. Okay, well, it's been quite an end to the week as far as news goes, with the Charlie Kirk assassination, the FBI manhunt and capturing of the suspect. Charlie Kirk's wife spoke today, and to say she's not happy might be one of the bigger understatements of the year. Let's see if I can get some quotes here. First off, she did say that her husband loved President Trump. Quote, "Your friendship was amazing. You support him so well, as he did for you," she told the crowd from her live broadcast on Charlie Kirk's YouTube. She also thanked Vice President Vance and his wife Usha for their support. She then went on to say that Charlie always said that when he was gone, he wanted to be remembered for his courage and his faith. And one of the final conversations he had on this earth, my husband witnessed for his Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and now for all eternity. He will stand at his Savior's side wearing the glorious crown of a martyr. Lovely. Charlie Kirk apparently expressed a desire to run for political office at some point. This is the one I don't like. She said, Erika Kirk said her husband's death will ignite his movement posthumously. "If you thought my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. You have no idea what you have just unleashed across this entire country and this world. You have no idea the fire that you've ignited within his wife, or this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry." Not liking that either. "To everyone listening tonight across America, the movement my husband built will not die." She said she will make sure no one will ever forget her husband's name. "I will make sure of it." This is why killing somebody you disagree with doesn't serve anybody. Now, again, for the 22-year-old man that shot Charlie Kirk, he grew up in a conservative family. He was raised as a Mormon, at least for part of his life. And it was introduced to guns at a fairly young age. We don't know too much more about him. He didn't vote the last couple elections. Although the family was Republican, that does not necessarily mean the spawn are Republicans. Although usually it doesn't fall, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree on that. All I'm saying is, give it time. Let's find out more about this young man and what his motivations were. There's a lot of speculation. And it just kind of shows the ugliness in this country right now that, in the comment section, there's a lot of people that are not very kind or aren't mourning the loss of Charlie Kirk. And I understand that, because while his wife Erika thinks that Charlie was representing Christ and spirit and the good of the family, the rest of us were seeing the downside of his message. I wasn't seeing the positive. I was seeing the negatives, that everything would come at a cost. And to sort of sum it up, when somebody says, I think empathy is a woke word and he doesn't believe empathy really exists, pretty much that big dusty tome that you claim to read, the whole second half of it, the whole Jesus part of it, that's about empathy. It's about love, joy, and compassion. I shouldn't have to lecture anybody on this. To say empathy is woke is ridiculous. I don't want to read on Erika Kirk right now because my emotions are strong. Her emotions are strong. I can feel how strong her emotions are because she wasn't mincing words. I guess I could say the same thing, that if I was offed like Charlie Kirk was, I'm sure my wife Michelle would have some pretty dang strong opinions that she'd want to share with people too. And she would be every bit the powerhouse and force of nature that Erika Kirk is giving off. So let her have time to mourn the loss of her husband. And if you think about it, she she actually had a really interesting quote here. It was I think I can find it. Oh, you have no idea the fire you've ignited in this wife. The cries of the widow will echo around like a battle cry. To everyone listening, my husband's movement won't die. But she said something about the evildoers that did this. I'm not seeing it in this quote, but she was basically saying, for the evildoers that brought this on her husband, she's going to have her divine retribution on them. The assumption right now from the folks on the right is that it's the radical lefts that has done this, and that they want to take it out on Democrats. From stuff that some intuitive said that they're wondering if Israel is involved with this, or Russia's involved with this, or other actors trying to keep the Epstein files this. If those are the agents, as information comes out, if those are the agents that cause this, well, good. Turning point on those folks and go for it. My only concern for her is I hope she waits long enough to find out who her enemy is, rather than lashing out at who she suspects her enemy is. That's the part that I'm concerned about. But it has the potential to do some really good things, as long as she finds the right people to direct that energy towards. If she doesn't, it'll be a low energy type of thing. Okay. Sorry, long intro. Kash Patel. Kash Patel's big mouth may have landed him in hot water. Kash Patel, when he was brought on, fired a bunch of FBI folks. And one of the things that Patel did when he came into the FBI was he was punishing 3 folks because they attempted to treat some... Let me get back to the story here. It has to do... Okay, so there was a lawsuit brought by 3 senior FBI agents, Brian Driscoll, Steve Jensen, and Spencer Evans. And they accused Patel, Attorney General Pam Bondi, and other agencies of wrongly firing people that were involved in the Trump investigations. Driscoll argued that he was fired after he attempted to halt the firing of another FBI employee, Christopher Meyer, who was ordered to pilot Patel's flight to Las Vegas, but had also been falsely accused of signing off on the agency's 2022 raid of Mar-a-Lago. Let's see. Driscoll notably refused orders from the White House to expose bureau staff who were involved in the January 6th probe. When Driscoll explained that firing employees based on case assignments, basically, let's see, the suit claims that Patel was fully aware that the firing that he was trying to do was illegal. When Driscoll explained the firing of employees based on case assignments would be in direct violation of internal FBI processes meant to adjudicate adverse actions and prevent retaliation based on case assignments, Patel said that he understood that, and he knew the nature of the summary firings were likely illegal, and that he could be sued and later deposed. Basically, yeah, I know it's illegal, but I'm doing it anyway, so on you. Beyond blatantly violating the law, the statement also stood in direct contrast of what Patel had promised Congress when he swore to Richard Blumenthal that all FBI agents would be protected against political retribution. FBI employees, not just agents, but the employees. But the phrasing of Patel's rebuke also implicated Trump. Patel explained that there was nothing he or Driscoll could do to stop these or any other firings because, quote, the FBI tried to put the president in jail and he hasn't forgotten it. National security journalists were quick to note Patel's loose lips may have made it easier for these ex-FBI agents to achieve an incredible feat, getting a U.S. president to sit down for a deposition. Additionally, Patel was ripped. Patel has been criticized for his handling of the shooting of Charlie Kirk, and on a teleconference call with 200 FBI personnel, he had a profanity-laced dressing down of the FBI. I believe he called it a circus. Was it a circus that he said? It was Mickey Mouse operations. That's gonna help with morale. So we've got a couple of storms brewing here. Let's start, I will read on, since I gave a long intro, I will read on Charlie Kirk's wife and on Erika Kirk, and just look at the energy that she's in right now. And then we'll jump over to Kash Patel. There'll be a 2-for-1 special. Come on down. Entertainment purposes only. Erika Kirk. Let's look at the energy that's going on around her. Currently 4 of coins. She's trying to keep it together. Who can blame her? She's lost her husband. She has 2 small children. She's been suddenly widowed. And all indications is that her husband was assassinated for his political views and his values. And she's trying desperately to hold on to hers and her husband's values. And that's crossed with the 7 of Swords because somebody came in and undermined, snuck away with her husband's life and walked off into the night. Now, we got 2 leaving cards here. We have a suspect under arrest, but there could be more. Here's the thing. She thinks he was taken too soon, and she's having a hard time emotionally letting go. Intellectually, I think she understands it, but emotionally, it's going to be a really difficult time for her. Understand, she's hurting. She is lashing out, but she is hurting. And this is the kind of thing that can really drive somebody. In the past, Queen of Cups, I think she was emotionally the steady one in that relationship, keeping her mouth shut, so to speak. Charlie was in the limelight, not her. Current situation is the 8 of Coins. I think this is her stating that she wants to keep Charlie's values and his legacies going forward. So her job right now is just to keep sort of status quo, keep his legacy and his name alive so he doesn't fade to obscurity. When you're a far-right podcaster like that, it's a crowded field and there's going to be more people piling in. Charlie Kirk was already, in competition with Nick Fuentes for listeners and such. Who else is going to come into the zeitgeist to try and take the audience? Who's got the charisma to take over Charlie Kirk's place? We'll see. Overarching energy is the Page of Swords. She's got a nascent idea that she wants to bring forward. It's not that she doesn't know what she's doing, it's that she's new to it. Where Charlie Kirk thrived on it, this is something new for her. Lesson learned is the Page of Cups. She's got to work to basically maintain the message that she wants to bring that Charlie Kirk had. Will she have the intellectual firepower? I think one of the things that fans of Charlie Kirk really appreciated was how quick-witted he was in debates. I don't know anything about Erika Kirk. I don't know how quick-witted she is or is not. It's one thing to say you're going to start a revolution, but you have to have an army behind you. And MAGA is the army. And again, there's many people going after those voices. Outcome is the Judgment card, but she's trying to rally the troops. She's letting people know that Charlie Kirk may be gone, but his movement is not dead. I'm not betting against her. But having passion helps, but you also have to have the talent. You need to have both to truly succeed in that type of endeavor. And somewhere in there, you've got 2 small children. And you're the only parent left. So you might have to, I don't know if she is the one who intends to take over or if she's going to find a personality to hire to take it over. I'm not sure how that's going to work. Maybe it's too soon to ask. Literally, he's only been dead for 2 days. It's too soon to ask. But I think that's kind of where she's at right now. Now, as far as Kash Patel, let's look at the energy around him. He's when you're having a profanity-laced meeting with 200 agents on this call, and you're criticizing the department, basically saying they don't know what they're doing, it's really a reflection on you. And you're taking that fear and you're dumping it on other people because you don't know what to do with it. That's not leadership. I've supervised people for years. I've been to many leadership courses. I don't think any of them ever say dressing down your subordinates in a profanity-laden way is solid, strong leadership. You know what I mean? Just saying. Kash Patel. He's at a crossroads. Trump may not be real happy with him. I'm sure Trump's happy that the guy got arrested. He may not be happy with Kash's performance. Let's see. Patel's at a crossroads here. What's challenging him? Secrets. This is like in the Knight of Cups. He doesn't know what he's doing. He has no experience in this field. He was a prosecutor, and he came in to the FBI agency. And I've heard criticisms, but I don't know if they're true or not true, that Patel doesn't go into the office. He spends all his time in Las Vegas. And so he's not really the de facto leader of the FBI, but he has the title. This just tells me it's like he doesn't know what he's doing. And so when criticism comes leveling down on him, all he can do is yell at the people who do know what they're doing. Does that make sense? If I was hired to build a house, I know nothing about building a house, so I hire a contracting company to do stuff, but I'm taking credit as being the head of this contracting company. And if they don't fill permits or something collapses and I get yelled at by the owners who hired me to build their house and I hired this contractor to do it, what am I going to do? Say, yeah, I don't know how to build a house. I hired these guys. Well, if I'm embarrassed, I can't defend myself. I have to go yell at people because I'm embarrassed. Again, it's fear-based stuff. That was a terrible analogy. Sorry, folks. Knight of Cups underneath. This is the false friend. He has no friends. He's got no friends. He's got really no allies, so to speak. You have career cops. I mean, that doesn't mean that there aren't officers in the FBI that are trying to move forward the Trump agenda. But I just don't think Kash has got... he doesn't have the cash. He doesn't have the collateral to do things with the FBI. In the past, you got the Hermit card. Yeah, instead of leading... Kash retreated to his abode in Las Vegas and just let the FBI run itself. You've got senior FBI leadership that know what they're doing, and then they could just brief him. So he's like an absent boss who gets updates. And then something bad happens, and he doesn't have a way to answer to his boss. So all you could do is yell at your subordinates. Current situation of the Ten of Swords. Ooh, this is not good. And I mean it's not good from Patel's point of view. I think that not only is he crushing morale by what would be throwing everybody in the FBI under the bus, so to speak, but there could really be folks looking at Kash Patel realizing he doesn't have the chops for this job. These are not great cards for him. Overarching energy, Six of Swords. He's going to be asked to leave. He's heard conversations, or there's a movement afoot to move him somewhere else. I mean, you've already fired a bunch of FBI folks as part of Doge. Congratulations, Elon and Kash. Great. So you fired a bunch of people, and now all of a sudden you find you don't have the people to do the job. If there's a Mickey Mouse operation, here's how Elon would handle it. Elon would say, well, then you fired the wrong people, Kash Patel. If you're saying these folks can't do the job with the amounts you have, then you got rid of the wrong people. That's how they'll approach this. And Kash Patel doesn't have an answer. He doesn't have an answer back because he can't say we shouldn't have fired these people because he signed on board to it. He was for it. He screwed himself, basically. He screwed himself. Leslie B. Learn is the Queen of Wands. This is the action that's coming. The internal discussion that's coming. He feels it. He knows it's coming. He may have been tipped off that it's coming here. And the outcome is the Queen of Cups. Either he's going to have a woman or somebody like that come in and have a quiet talk with him about resigning, or where does he want to go next, because this may not be the job for him anymore. Or I don't think this is going to be him laying low, so to speak. There's a movement coming forward here with Kash Patel. Again, maybe they'll offer him the ambassadorship to the UN or something like that. But I think there's going to be some movement with Mr. Patel. So, in order to have movement with Mr. Patel, you're going to have Donald Trump tell Pam Bondi that he wants Kash Patel out. Because I believe the head of the FBI reports into the Department of Justice, as I recall from Trump's first administration, back when I and many other people started learning out who reports to who in the U.S. government during the Mueller investigation. Pam Bondi would not get rid of Kash Patel without first being instructed by Donald Trump to do so. I don't think she's allowed to work independently like that. That would be outside the normal purviews for or permissions that Trump loyalists would have. So let's ask Donald Trump, what is your current thoughts on Kash Patel for Carter? The Emperor. Somebody has to be in charge. You have to look the part too. Remember, it's not actually the competence, it's looking the part. Page of Pentacles, Mickey Mouse operations, huh? Five of Wands, turmoil. Queen of Pentacles, practicality. Ace of Swords. Okay. Trump may be more reveling in the chaos that's happening here. But I asked about Patel. Right now, Trump is sort of sitting in here enjoying the chaos because evidence of from the Epstein trial is kind of currently being it's taking a back seat to this. But honestly, if I'm answering the question, what does he think about it? You got leadership, you have turmoil, young guy with some ideas versus the practicality and the Ace of Swords, which is cutting through the bullshit in the Crusades. Trump, I don't think of Trump looking at Kash Patel as being in charge. So if this is Trump looking over the chaos and the mayhem, he's deciding on the value of Patel. Whoever this person is going to be taking action on it. Let's throw one more card on there. Page of Wands, talking about moving. I have so many page cards here. I think, you know what it might be? The Page of Coins and the Queen of Coins might represent folks in Trump's cabinet, where he's listening to all their ideas. You know, this guy's too young, he doesn't know what he's doing, versus, you know, he's new to the job, but let's be practical on this one. And then it literally comes down to whoever talked to Trump last or hits that narcissistic nerve in Trump. Like, people are going to think your administration is inept because Patel doesn't know what the hell he's doing, and we need to find a better person for that who better upholds your values. You know, something like that, where it's like, this guy's going to make you look bad, and there's other people who can make you look good. That sort of thing. If Trump were to act Now, what's he going to do with Patel? Another 4-carder. The Empress. He's looking out for number 1. 4 swords. 3 of swords. 6 of coins. If he were to act right now, he's going to look out for number 1, who's himself. And what's next? It's like, yeah, Kash Patel, you did a disappointing job here. He might say that about the FBI, the CIA, and the NSA, but you didn't do a good job on this one. Charlie Kirk died. It's like you should have known what's going on here, and I'll help you with something else here. Maybe we'll get you a job in the Department of Justice. I think he's going to move him. It'll be done quietly. They'll wait a little bit and do it. They won't do it right now to bring too much attention to it. But I think he's planning on moving him. And it might be a woman that comes in to tell Trump that Kash Patel doesn't know what he's doing, but there's some good guys waiting in the wings if you just give them a chance. Yeah, I think he's gonna move him. It's just not going to be right away. Oh, I don't like this timeline. A lot of turmoil going on right now. I record this on September 12th at 8 o'clock at night right now. Things to look forward to coming up soon. We do have the Rockland County court case where they're looking at voting irregularity and irregular voting results in Rockland County, New York. The next court case is due on the 22nd, and Donald Trump in a few days is supposed to fly to England and meet up with King Charles III. I think when I did my reading last, it didn't look like Trump was going to make that, but who knows what kind of remarkable recovery he's made health-wise in the last few days. What else is going on? In my September energy reading and in my last reading I did on Trump's health, it looked like the week of the 21st or 22nd could be quite a blockbuster. I don't know if that energy has changed, but we shall see. Strap in. I don't think it's going to get less crazy anytime soon in the near future anyways. I just hope that cooler heads prevail when it comes to this whole Charlie Kirk issue. I would also hope that we can get back to the task at hand, which is getting all the Epstein files released so that we can understand exactly who was connected with Epstein and hold those folks accountable. That's what Charlie Kirk would have wanted. He was advocating for that. We should advocate for that too. Show some unity. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. This reading is for entertainment purposes only, but I hope you found it insightful, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.